Hello everyone, Joe Young here from josephjyoung.com. Welcome to video number 2 to Network Marketing Prerequisites. And here today we're talking about discovering your mindset. And it's something that we're calling ingredient number 1 in the prerequisites category. If you saw my first video, you remember that I was talking to you and creating an analogy of my time spent working in an Italian kitchen doing prep work for the online cooks as well as for my own station in salads and desserts. And I begin to liken network marketing as far as prerequisites are concerned to the prepping stage. The prepping stage before we entered the lunch scene and dinner time. There are a lot of things in the restaurant and in the kitchen that we had to prep, like onions and peppers and mushrooms, etc. These are all things that need to be done beforehand, so that the line cooks, especially during the time of cooking and people are ordering their meals, they're not having to stop and do all the prep work and then make their meals. They need to have everything in place so that they can just grab every ingredient that they need and then create the nice, wonderful, tasty entree. And so you'd have to go back to video number 1 to check that out so you can get an idea of what I was talking about. Well, today we want to talk about what I feel is ingredient number 1 in network marketing prerequisites. As you've already seen on screen, that the word prerequisite is something that is required in advance. In college, there are many courses that a person could go after, and some of these courses that they want to master in have prerequisites to them, are often referred to as a prereq. In other words, it's something either in English, literature, math, etc., depending on what you're doing, that must happen first before you're eligible to take the course. Network marketing is no different. There are prerequisites. There are many people today who are joining network marketing and they're jumping in simply because they watched a video, they saw a compensation plan, they saw an inspiring story, and all these things are great and they're needed because we need to connect at an emotional, personal level with other people. By tapping into people's desires and wants and their reason why they do need an opportunity. And so, but with that said, it's not enough. It often pulls them into the business, but it's not something that is the best thing that I feel should be pulling people into the business. I think some of these tools, personal testimonies, are powerful and they're needed. But what's more needed than that is for somebody to have some prerequisites. Because what happens is, they see the emotional video, they sign up, but they're still in that mindset of working hard for money, working for their paycheck, living paycheck to paycheck, and now they have stepped into an arena that is completely business and finance. It's business building, it's business, it's building wealth, it's working with people, it's building people. It's a whole new world that they know nothing about. Now, of course, it's understood that you can't just spend all of your time in prerequisites. You have to jump in because a lot of these prerequisites are things that you're going to learn on the way after you've actually become a part of your network marketing business. There are some things that would be good for you to deal with prior to signing up though. But either way, prior to or right when you get involved, there are things that must be worked on, okay? There must be these prerequisites established in your life if you're going to succeed at all in network marketing. And number 1, we're saying here, the number 1 ingredient is discovering your mindset. So think about, again, back to my analogy in video 1, think about a cook has to make a special plate. Now, I worked in an Italian restaurant. There were a lot of wonderful plates. One of my favorite was chicken carbonara. So in chicken carbonara, they started off with creating the sauce. Well, actually, no, they didn't. They started off by frying up all the meats, and in this particular plate there was ground up sausage, bacon, and prosciutto ham. I know, a heart attack killer, but the plate was awesome. But we fried that up, drained the grease, and then we put in the heavy cream. And then we added, the proper proportion, like a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese, let it reduce for a while, and then we set it to a side until we were ready to add the other remaining ingredients at the time that the dinner plate was actually to go up to the customer. And that included the linguine or the fettuccine, whatever type of pasta we're using for the plate, and also the green peas and some parsley, things of that nature. That was all mixed up in the very end and then served very nicely to the customer. But now think about that plate would not be possible if, when the cook, the chef, went to make the plate, he didn't have the ground up sausage, he didn't have the bacon, he didn't have the prosciutto ham already pre-sliced, if he didn't have heavy cream on hand, butter, okay, Parmesan cheese, and the fettuccine already made, he could just grab a handful that was according to what he needed in a tong, drop it in a plate, mix it up. If all of those ingredients weren't there, he can't make the plate. Okay, so what we're saying is, one of the #1 main ingredients for your success in network marketing is going to be discovering your mindset. And here's why it's important. And I'll go through this very quickly. If you do not discover your mindset, you will never change your mindset to what your mindset needs to become in order to be successful in this industry. You cannot have a down and out, beat down, mediocre, poor mentality. You'll never succeed in the business arena, okay? And if you want a little help in understanding what I'm talking about, a great book to read is Robert Kiyosaki's The Cash Flow Quadrant. He talks about where everybody exists in the world of money. You can see that in the symbol that he talks about, the E, the S, the B, and the I. Network marketing resides in the B quadrant, okay, where things are constantly being built to create and to generate positive cash flow, to leverage your money and to create wealth by its right definition, okay? And so without getting into too many details there, I just want to simply just say that if you don't discover your mindset, then your mindset will never change. While you're watching the video, you're already discovering your mindset, believe it or not. You're having thoughts that say, you know what, I don't think that's possible. That's what your mind's talking. Already you're hearing all sorts of either positive or negative information coming from the counsel of your own mind. Things that have been embedded inside of you for years. Okay, but now you sit down in front of a business system, already created, already made for you. The only thing you have to make the decision on doing is whether or not you're going to jump in and work the system. Okay, already made. You don't have to take the time and resource and the energy, okay, and the intelligence to create the system. It's already there. You just have to work it. But now, before you decide to do so, all this stuff is happening inside of you. What's happening? You're discovering who you are. You're discovering maybe for the very first time in your life that you are either a person existing in the E quadrant, the self-employed quadrant, the business quadrant, or the investor quadrant. Who knows? It all depends on who you are. But if your mindset has been paycheck to paycheck and exchanging time for money, you're going to have a slight quarrel. And I just want to give you that little nudge to say it's normal. But if you want to succeed, it's going to have to change. Okay? An employee mindset cannot exist inside of a business world mindset. It has to be changed. It has to be converted. And so I just want to simply just throw that out to you. You'll never change what you don't discover. So allow what you're seeing, your presentations, your business, what somebody's trying to share with you, allow that to show you who you are. Okay? And discover whether or not you're a pessimist or an optimist. You're positive or you're negative. You're a believer or you're a non-believer. When you look at that business plan and all those numbers, do you believe what you see? Or do you think, you know, if it's this easy, why isn't everybody doing it? There's a reason why everyone's not doing it. No, number one, it's not necessarily easy. But the #1 reason why most people are doing it, because it's just a different world that they're not a part of. They weren't raised in. That's why. They're not trained to be business people. We weren't raised in our educational system to be business-minded people. Anybody who has become a business builder and has builded wealth in companies, employees, they became that. They stepped out of the current system and became what they are today. Well, I've gone long enough. I just wanted to simply just throw this thought out to you so I could give you some things to think about as we continue with several videos talking about network marketing prerequisites. Prerequisites that I feel are very important to the success of anybody in network marketing. A lot of people come across these ingredients just, you know, unconsciously as they're learning, they're training, they're being trained by their trainers. These things are developing inside of them. All I'm simply doing is identifying the process. I'm identifying what's happening along the way that's causing all these people to be successful and helping you to understand maybe why you're broke down, you're on the side of the road, your business isn't going the way that you want. And it's all because it's all about you. Don't spend your time blaming upline leaders and everybody else. Look at yourself. There is a way that you can reach success in this business. And if it's just having somebody who's on the outside of what you're doing help you by teaching you, sharing videos like this, fine, we'll be glad to do it to help you get moving. Well, that's enough for now. God bless you. Stay tuned for video #3. We'll be announcing soon what that topic will be. But remember this one ingredient, ingredient #1, a prerequisite that you must deal with immediately as you go. If you Haven't joined yet? Fine. If you have, fine. You need to discover your mindset. And number 2, take steps to change your mindset into the mindset that's going to cause you to be successful. God bless you now.